You ever think suburban life is supposed to be calm, peaceful, boring? Yeah, me too. Until one morning my own driveway became the exclusive VIP parking zone for the HOA president. Yep, you heard that right. I step outside with my coffee, expecting quiet, and there it is, a shiny black SUV planted dead center in front of my garage like it owned the place. And it wasn't just any car. Nope. There was a little laminated badge hanging from the rear view, all official looking, like the President of the United States had personally authorized it. Only problem, it wasn't hers. It was mine. And apparently Mrs. Van Pelt, HOA President Extraordinaire, decided it was now her personal government-issued parking spot. I blinked. Twice. Maybe 3 times. No prank. No joke. She seriously thought she could pull this off. It all began the week she got elected. Suddenly, every minor rule in the HOA handbook became gospel, and private property? Totally negotiable if she felt like it. You know the type. She'll write you a warning for a mailbox leaning half an inch, but somehow thinks commandeering your driveway is acceptable. And that badge? Laminated. Printed with a city seal. She clearly swiped off Google Images. Genius? Evil? Both in terrifying combination. I tried the polite approach first. Knocked on her door, coffee in hand. She greets me with a saccharine smile, teacup in hand, like we're about to have a civil chat about hedges. Mrs. Van Pelt, that's my driveway, I said. She looked me dead in the eyes and cooed. Oh, that's fine, dear. It's official business. Official business. Like she'd been deputized by the Department of Suburban Management or something. My jaw nearly hit the pavement. I tried subtle sabotage next. Cones. A reserve for homeowners sign. Even considered sprinkling glitter on her tires, but thought better of it. She just rolled her eyes, tapped her fake badge, and strutted off like I was insane. Frustration simmering, I watched the clock tick. And then, the comedy of errors really kicked in. One morning, a truck pulls up. Not hers, not mine. City inspectors. Multiply my confusion by 10. Apparently, someone had filed a complaint about unregistered official parking on private property. Other neighbors were noticing the badge scam. And the timing, perfect. Inspectors arrived just as she tried to park again. Her expression? Cinematic gold. Hair frozen mid-flip, eyes wide. Lips twitching like a cartoon character realizing lava is under her feet. I stood there, coffee in hand, watching the drama unfold. She waved her laminated badge like a wand. One inspector squints, flips it over, and says, "Ma'am, this isn't a real permit. This is a printed sticker from Google." Tension? Shattered. She tried charm, tried explanation. Inspectors just stared. By the end, she was politely escorted back to her property, badge confiscated, ego thoroughly deflated. My driveway? Clear, ready for my car to actually belong there. And the neighbors? Snickering behind curtains, whispering. Finally, she met her match. But that was just the opening act. City inspectors gone, badge gone, driveway mine. But Mrs. Van Pelt didn't disappear. She escalated. Notes appeared on my windshield like cryptic HOA warnings. Illegal parking, driveway off limits during HOA business hours. She made the hours up. Then came the overnight barricades. Cheap plastic traffic barriers zigzagged across my entrance. I woke up trapped, laughing so hard I almost fell out of bed. My driveway? Suburban obstacle course. I half expected her with a whistle, officiating a HOA driving exam. Shock twist. I had security cameras. Every note, every barrier, every tiny visit, recorded in glorious HD with audio. Her muttering? Priceless. He can't get away with this. I am the president. I am authority. One-woman Broadway show, just pure HOA rage. Then the call from City Hall. Official voice. Sir, we have received reports of unauthorized HOA activity on private property. We have video evidence. My jaw dropped. Evidence of her antics? Captured. Every sticky note, barrier, and fake badge. Suddenly, my little camera project turned into primetime municipal drama. And the city wasn't happy. They sent an inspector team for a follow-up. This time, uniforms, authority, and zero tolerance. Badges, clipboards, the whole 9 yards. I swear seeing Mrs. Van Pelt's face when she opened the door for official-looking city inspectors, 2 men, 2 women, all business, was priceless. She froze mid-sentence, mid-breath, medieval glare fully engaged, lips quivering, hands twitching, her fake badge still swinging from her neck like a sad party favor. And then the comedy crescendo hit. One inspector calmly asked her to explain why she thought Elsa's driveway could double as official parking. She stammered through some nonsense about neighborhood security and public convenience. But the inspectors weren't buying it. One of them, completely deadpan, said, "Ma'am, you are not city personnel. That is private property. You are violating multiple codes." Panic washed over her face like a lottery winner realizing she had the wrong ticket, or a magician losing her wand mid-trick. And here's the kicker. My cameras caught her sneakily trying to drag the traffic barriers back into my driveway while pretending to chat with neighbors. The inspectors saw it live. One raised an eyebrow and said, "Planning another obstacle course, Mrs. Van Pelt?" She tried to laugh it off, nearly tripping over the very barrier she was dragging. If reality TV gave Oscars for HOA meltdowns, she would have won. By the end of the day, the city slapped her with an official warning and a minor fine. Nothing catastrophic, but ego crushed. My driveway, officially and gloriously mine again. I even printed a small sign, official homeowner parking. Violators will be recorded. The neighbors loved it. They peeked from windows, whispered, and sometimes came over to watch the security footage. Some even started jokingly calling me the driveway defender. Meanwhile, Mrs. Van Pelt slunk back inside, plotting, no doubt, her next HOA chapter. Little did she know, she had just stepped into a game she could never win. Because when a suburban villain tries to convert private property into her personal kingdom, one man's cameras, humor, and a little city intervention can turn the tables in the most hilarious way possible. And trust me, the grand finale was coming. More inspections, more embarrassment, and one unforgettable public moment that the neighborhood would talk about for years. By this point, Mrs. Van Pelt had earned her reputation as the ultimate petty villain. But I had a plan. A bit of public exposure, a touch of theatrical flair, and a dash of justice she wouldn't forget. It started with a simple flyer. Neighborhood safety and parking demonstration. All welcome. Innocent enough, right? Except the real purpose was to lure the audience that had been secretly observing her antics. Curious neighbors appeared in droves, whispering about her SUV escapades, fake permits, and other absurd schemes. She showed up first, strutting down the street like she owned the cul-de-sac, blazer pressed, clipboard in hand, scanning for dissenters. When she spotted me setting up a projector and camera, her jaw dropped slightly, half disbelief, half fury. "What is this?" she demanded. "A public forum? Without my approval?" Hands waving dramatically, as if I had broken the laws of physics. The real fun began when I hit play. Suddenly, the entire neighborhood saw her mid-meltdown in glorious HD. Waving that fake city permit, stomping over cones, muttering lines worthy of a villain monologue. Laughter erupted. Some neighbors nearly fell out of chairs. A few clutched their stomachs from pure absurdity. She tried to explain, "This is taken out of context." But it only got worse. A neighbor casually asked, "Mrs. Van Pelt, is that your SUV using someone else's driveway as official parking?" Crimson face, quivering lips, darting eyes. No words, just squeaks of a malfunctioning villain improvising. Then came the inspectors. Yes, the same city inspectors from before, legally summoned to verify the permit. They stood behind projector, clipboard in hand. One said dryly, "Ma'am, your permit is not valid." Laughter doubled. Her hands flew to her face. Cartoonish. By the time she tried to storm off, she tripped over her own barrier, limbs flailing. She hit the ground. The crowd erupted. Justice. Driveway defender. It filmed viral material in seconds. I stepped forward with a megaphone. "Attention, everyone. Private property is private. Fake permits don't make you powerful. Anyone turning a neighbor's driveway into their personal parking will be exposed." Applause. Children pointed. Dogs barked. Mrs. Van Pelt slunk back inside, defeated. Her petty reign officially over. My driveway, untouched. My coffee table, safe. Security cameras, unsung heroes of suburban justice. It was chaotic, ridiculous, and utterly satisfying. Neighbors whisper about that day for weeks. The HOA president outsmarted, humiliated, caught red-handed. And me? I sipped my coffee, smiled at the projector replaying her meltdown, and thought, sometimes all it takes to defeat a petty villain is a little planning, a lot of humor, and an audience ready to laugh at the absurdity. By the end, peace returned. My driveway, officially mine. Justice served, comedy peaked, and Mrs. Van Pelt, forever a legend in neighborhood lore.